Good morning, afternoon, or evening. This is Nicole with episode 1.5 of No Cool News because the first one has been outdated. This is an update on the Fungasm situation. In the last video, we talked about how Fungasm has preyed on a minor named Melly. More information has come forth since then, and a lot of things have gone down. Before we get started, please do not go out of your way to harass anyone mentioned in this video. This is mostly informative, and any jokes made shouldn't be taken to heart. In the Mari Cutie community, there's one main vulnerable community of younger individuals, mostly in the ranges of 13 or younger. These individuals are at risk of being groomed and manipulated by adults. Recently, we have gotten into contact with Fun. We went over his messages with Melly, and he has agreed that his actions were disgusting and claims he doesn't remember any of it. There was a point to be made that if he didn't remember it, then he still couldn't get away with it, because it still happened and others still remember. That's kind of like saying, oh, I don't remember murdering that kid 13 years ago. Like, you still did it. It still happened. It was still a crime, and it still affected other people who remember. So, that's not an excuse that you don't remember. So first, let's just start off with Melly's case with Fun. We voice called and screen shared his DMs with Mel since he requested to see them. He begins the voice call with 3 main points. 1, he didn't remember anything. 2, he did not groom anyone. And 3, he misread the ages. At the end of the voice call, not only did Mel repetitively state his age, it indeed was Fun who started these inappropriate conversations. At the time, he was 27 years of age. The age you become fully developed is 25. It takes the human brain 25 years to fully develop and become mature. He was fully cognizant of what he was doing, and a point could be argued that he was being systematically predatory towards Mel. Mel was a big fan of Fun, which also shows how he used his power over people abusively. As you may know, Fun is an animator who has worked on the Firework music video with JonTron, and even animated a Game Grumps video that ranked in 5 million views. He has a lot of fans, nearly 2,000 on Twitter and nearly 12,000, if I remember correctly, on his YouTube. Any younger kid would look up to Fun, and he used that to his advantage, apparently. The conversation was apparently sexual charged since the beginning, and because of this, Mel felt like it was only normal to ask sexual questions. Instead of telling them not to ask someone that kind of question, Fun instead answered them and proceeded to ask Mel what he was into as well. This is an inappropriate charged conversation to have with anyone underaged, especially those who haven't even went through puberty yet. This can shape someone's entire view of life. So, moving on to our next victim who has come forward. Her name is Vix. Vix was one of the individuals he named in the voice call. He wanted to tell us that all they talked about was just the raids and griefing on the Mari Cutie Discord. But after looking into the situation, he too was being creepy towards Vix. We got into contact with Vix, and she showed us what Fun has said to her. He did the same thing to her as he did to Mel. He decided to voice call her, sharing his screen, and this is where he would show NSFW to her. He even mentioned his lewd/NSFW account. His Twitter account is also consisting of lewd pictures of underage characters, which is more screwed up if you realize that he told Vix to check out these pictures. In the voice calls, he would ask her creepy questions that you should never, ever ask a 12-year-old. He asked her what she was into and then proceeded to talk about what he was into. Vix is someone who didn't even know Mel at the time, yet both of these individuals have very similar stories, which I think it is safe to assume that this might be a special pattern of behavior for Fun. Both Mel and Vix both had mental illness issues or social problems, and this would contribute to how they would both be able to be allegedly groomed by Fun. At the time of scripting this, he has been trying to make excuses or any kind of alternative way of us to quote-unquote punish him, anything other than a video, for about 6 hours now or more. I lost track. He not only tried to emotionally manipulate the group, which mainly consists of the victims who wish to confront him, but he also started to delete chats. So, after a few hours, like after we ended the conversation with him, kinda, he started to go back and delete every single message that he sent in that chat, which was like 1,000 at the least. So, luckily, we got screenshots, which I am very, very grateful for, so thank you guys for getting those screenshots for me and helping me out with this video. But basically, he would beg us. He would literally just basically get down on his knees and beg us, and he would start using his personal situations that are like going on in his life right now to try to get away out of a video being made on him, which I think is kind of odd, but his excuse was he doesn't want his online reputation to be tarnished. He doesn't want his art career to be ruined because it's all he has. And I'm not gonna let that guilt trip us, because what he did was wrong. These kids' mental health, these kids' mental state is much more important than his art career. He would also accuse us of like not being sympathetic towards him when we didn't agree with him. He was accusing us of bullying him. He was like, "You guys are bullying me. This is bullying. This is harassment." And I said, "How? It can't be bullying and harassment if it's the truth." Because he did allegedly do this stuff. What we saw makes us believe that he did do it. Because we have screenshots. We went on a video screen share call, and the account was his. We were scrolling through messages. There's no way it could have been edited in any way, I don't think. So he accused us of having bad intentions and trying to villainize the people trying to help and like speaking for the victims. He was speaking for the victims. So one thing that I thought was quite peculiar is he even tried pushing the idea of getting the child's parents involved, which I don't see how that would make anything better in the slightest. In fact, that might make it worse for him, because I believe that he did this to just find any other way to get out of a video being made on him. Like, he said he would rather go to jail than have this video come out. He thought that if the parents got involved, they would take the internet away from their kids, and so he could be home free without, like, any real punishment. Anything he could grab onto, he would, even if it did not make sense in the slightest, and even if it was obviously stupid. He said he would rather be dealing with the police or parents rather than a video being made on him, and even if he dealt with the police, things would be much worse than what we're doing right now. It would be put on his record for the rest of his life, even beyond that. And every time he tries to apply for a new job or do anything of that sort, they'd see that he has allegedly preyed on kids online. Which, is that really a fair trade? Like, avoiding a video being made on you to turning yourself in? That just doesn't make sense. Okay? He also doesn't understand the fact that it's important to make sure that people are aware of this behavior online. He thinks it's better to go to jail because then once he goes online again, he can just do whatever he wants. It is our duty to make sure we call him out on this shitty behavior on a public forum. Even if it is an old situation, it's still important to come forward about this kind of stuff because you can't let them get away with that. He has done shady stuff, and now he needs to suffer the consequences for it. He also claimed to see Vix as a sister. You know, like, you don't really talk to your siblings about NSFW and what turns you on. That's just, In conclusion, Discord is a place where many individuals can come together and discuss common interests. Mari Mari Cutie Discord server is a server to allow all kinds of people in but that doesn't mean they always have your best intentions at heart. You need to remember that you don't need to feel validated by people online. It's not normal for someone to manipulate you to get what they want. Hell, you might not even notice when it's happening, but when you figure it out, please don't be scared to tell people. Tell someone you trust. Tell anyone. You can tell me, you can tell your parents if you trust them, you can tell any person that you trust. Don't be afraid to come forward. Don't ever be afraid to talk about that. It might seem humiliating, but you cannot stay quiet forever, and no one's going to judge you. And I promise you that. No one will judge you, and if they do, then they're an asshole, okay? So please, don't be afraid to come forward. You are not alone. And just please be careful online. Don't tell any personal information. Don't do any of that jazz. I'm sure you've heard of it a billion times by now. If you are below the age of 25, don't send nudes online. As stated before, you are not fully developed at the age of 18 to make decisions. As an 18-year-old, I completely agree. Don't date adults when you're a kid, no matter how nice they make you feel about yourself. It's not true. It's a way for them to manipulate you to get what they want from you, which is little children love. Ew, ew. Most predators will tell you that you are special because you seem older, but this is just a way to manipulate you, doing into what they want. So, I'm sorry, I just woke up like half an hour ago, so I'm really tired. But anyway, this is a very serious situation that we should not take lightly at all. And fun, again, this is like all alleged stuff, even though we have solid proof. I mean, I just, But yeah, so don't go out of your way to harass anyone in this video. Don't go attack fun. It's just best that you spread the word and just ignore him. Ignore him, don't give him any kind of support. Don't hate on him, just don't give him attention, I guess. I think that's the best thing you can do. So, if you have anything to add on to this, please don't be afraid to comment down below if you have something to say. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.